All right, we got the little Shrimp Outrigger out here today. I'm gonna be trying a couple different things here. Let me show you. I have got a different prop on this thing than the last time. I have a prop I may try since we're here at the big pond. This is a 4016 that I really wanted to try out here to rip it on. But I have this, which is a 17-15 38 bar. So I really wanted to try this and see what speed I get on 3S to see if it's even capable of spinning it. I have adjusted the rear strut to have, let's call it, maybe call it level when it's in kind of full trim mode. But it's actually upward trim compared to where I ran it last time. And then last run you saw, I had this small turn fin on it, and we're going to be trying this big turn fin here that my subscriber Fred made. It's quite considerable difference, but we're going to see. We're going to run a 3S pack with the big fin on it with this prop, and then we're going to run a 3S pack with my small fin on it. We'll see how it does. Drilled another hole to where I can lower it, and then at the end we'll run it on 4S. Let's get it together. All right, let's see. We got the GPS in there. We still got some grass, but not as much as last time. Just some right here. I might need to get the paddle. Yeah, there's still grass out in that pond. Ain't that terrible. Still gotta adjust my trim for that damn turn fin. Wow, that turn fin is really, really aggressive. Yeah, I'm gonna say that turn fin slows it down. Whoa! Whoa! Holy crap! That was insane, dude! That thing rode a wheelie. Ooh. Yeah, it's picking that turn fin sponsing up off the ground. All right, let's go ahead and bring it in. Whoo-wee, that was insane. I don't want to do too much and overheat it. All right. My best guess is I overheated it because she feels hot. She feels really hot. Just on the outside, we're at 143 degrees. Whew. That's over the ESC. Let's try this side. 108. Yeah, she's hot. Hot, hot, hot. Okay, let's see if she's smoked out. Ooh, yeah, desoldered. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Yep, too big of a prop. Too big of a prop. Yeah, look at the solder right there on the GPS. Yikes. That's no good. Alright. So we got a desoldered EC3 right there. Batteries at 154. Speed controller's 153, and the motor's at 148. Yeah, okay. Too much prop. Too much prop. Damn. Well, on a lighter note, we got 59 miles an hour out of it, but the GPS, even the GPS, look, watch this. GPS is 128 degrees. Jesus. Yeah, she's hot. She's hot. God bless it. Well, that sucks. Looks like we found our limit. Wow. That's no bueno. No bueno. Damn. Alright, it's now the next day. Things didn't go quite as planned. So we're going to go ahead, open this thing up, disassemble it, and see what we find. What I know we did, we desoldered the EC3 connector from the battery side of the things, which I'm actually surprised about. It didn't desolder my connection, it desoldered the connection from SMC. And then it also looked like it kind of burnt this wire here. So I don't know. A lot of it needs a little bit of change. I probably ran too big of a prop. 1715 was probably too big. But I was just trying it. Honestly, it seemed to be okay. I definitely noticed that it wasn't winding out. It didn't give me that wee noise that this boat typically produces. I put that a lot of testament to this big giant turn fin compared to what I was running. So what I'm going to do, I noticed I did a balance check with the 3S battery, and it was somewhere right around this area where my CG was. And I had originally mounted the fin towards the rear. Notice where my CG was, so I moved it forward as far as I could get it. And that ended up putting the CG somewhere right around the leading edge of the bend here. I had a black mark here earlier, but it has since been smoothed off. But if you notice in the video, it was really like lifting this front corner. Well, I've put that as a testament to the angle of the turn fin. It needed to go, you know, I guess, let's see, I think it needed to go down a little bit because it was up, which provided a little bit of cupping from the front, and I think it was lifting it. Maybe it needs a little bit of shaping. I don't know. Who knows? This was made for me. I did not make it. I'm just using eyeball references here. Personally speaking, I think the turn fin's too big. We're going to cut it down. But before we do that, we have to address the issues inside the boat. So let's go ahead and get it all out and get it all opened up. And let's see if we can reformulate things here. Alright. Went ahead, stripped it all down. Took me about 15 minutes. Pulled out the Kraken 120 and pulled out the motor. Now, this right here happened. This is not from the situation. This was from where I glued it down to the bottom. So I have to open up the ESC and resolder new wires on it, which I kind of wanted to do anyways. I felt like these are just too long, so I'll be able to shorten them in the way that I want. I also noticed a little bit, it looks like corrosion right there. So I'm probably going to go ahead and cut the heat shrink off of this thing, clean that up, put some Corrosion X on it, and then try to work on figuring out a way to seal this up a little bit better. I may put some clear silicone around each end and then heat shrink it down. Just haven't really figured that part out yet. But the ESC still works fine. The EC3 melted to itself, so that has to be fixed. I'm really leaning towards maybe going to XT60s. I just ordered 2 more batteries from SMC and I put EC3s on them. I don't know if an XT60 and an EC3 both have that like 60 amp limitation. I thought about going to an XT90. I just don't know if I can fit an XT90 in that boat and everything be copacetic. You know, I think it needs a smaller style connection. As for these little 4mm banana plugs, they're pretty well shot. Each one of them melted the heat shrink on it. The motor, I don't know if the motor's good or not. I'm about to open that up, and we're going to slide this apart, take the motor apart, and look at the inside. One thing I noticed, like, see the heat shrink melted on this one. If we pull the wire back and we just like look at the wire itself, the wire itself started to look like it was burning. So I don't know if I cooked the motor or not, but we're gonna go ahead and take it apart and see what it looks like. Because I do have a new motor coming for this thing. It's not a rocket motor, it's a TP motor, but it was special order, special build. It's gonna take a month for me to get, so we'll see. I may just let this boat sit apart until I get that motor rather than put it all back together. I really like this motor. The 4480 kV does really well. It's a little bit shorter. It doesn't stick out. I don't have to have any crazy canopy cover for it. That extra 10 mil is really going to kill you as far as you know, making a lid for it and whatnot. And see, I had a little piece right here. That piece melted. So let's go ahead and just take this motor apart and we'll see on the inside of it. This was a freebie, so it's not like I'm out anything. Everything that I put on this boat was either a donation or I robbed it off of something else or something that I just had sitting. So, you know, it is what it is. I got pretty decent speeds, close to 70 miles an hour. I'm happy with that, but I still had a lot to play with before this happened. I probably just got greedy, put too big of a prop on it. I shouldn't have went with a big prop and a big turn fin. I should have did vice versa. Should have ran my normal prop with a bigger fin and then put the small fin on it with the bigger prop. Bigger prop, bigger fin caused too much drag for the boat, and then too much drag, you know, and too much prop, which increased the amps, and I don't know. Just is what it is at this point. Well, I got the Kraken all cut open. Let's take a peek at this. I don't have any corrosion in there, which is good. It just seemed like it. I took a little, where's my brush? I took this little coarse toothbrush here and got it all off of there. So we'll be able to now desolder the wires and solder them up in the way that we want when I get it all put back in. As for the motor, this is the rotor. The rotor looks fine. There's no burnt areas or rubbed areas or anything on the rotor. On the motor can itself is a different story. Let's go ahead and look at it. Now, I think the copper inside of these motor cans has a protective coating over it. Because what I believe is it creates, you know, it's like an electromagnet. It's like a three-phase motor. And I had this issue with the 2000 kV 6-pole motor, and I wondered if it had something to do with when I burned up the ESC in my other boat. Now you can see here how it kind of cooked it. It cooked the coating on it, because these wires here have like I believe it's like a little Kevlar liner on the inside of them. But I believe the blackness is actually the coating on the wire that gets burnt. And you go all the way down into here. Let's see if it'll focus. Yep. So the burn part starts down there. So what I wonder now is, would it basically, you know, you got A, B, and C. Once that coating cooks off of there, if A touches B and it changes the magnetic pole, and I don't really know, I feel like it would short out the ESC. So rather than sitting here trying to clean this up, which I can take this brush and I can sit here and I can clean all that cookedness off of there, and it would work. But and it wouldn't be shiny again. But I don't think it would have its protective coating on there anymore. So I believe that we're just gonna set this motor aside. We'll save the end bells. We'll save the rotor, because the rotor's still good. The bearings are still good. Still spins really well. It's just this can is shot. The 4480 kV, honestly, I loved it. I really did. But I don't want to risk burning up a $100 speed controller over a $50 motor or a $44 motor or whatever. You can probably find this motor on AliExpress for a lot cheaper. But as far as eBay is concerned, I think they're like 48 bucks or something like that. But we've got another one coming, so we're not gonna risk it for the biscuit. I think we found everything we needed to find out as far as this motor's concerned anyway. Couldn't get it any faster than about 70 miles an hour. But it's just part of the hobby. You push them until you find a limit. And the water conditions were hot, so it wasn't getting cooled, and it's just too many variables went against me there. I was getting greedy for such a high kV value motor. But luckily we didn't burn up the speed controller, and I needed to take it apart anyways to where I could kind of reevaluate my setup and do things a little bit differently to make it easier to get the 4S packs in there and make it easier for the GPS to go in there. But I think everything worked out in a decent enough way to where this is still good, and we'll start fresh with a new motor and reset things up differently. And now that I've gotten the heat shrink off of this thing, I'll be able to desolder the wires and put them in a way to where the length of the wires will be shorter to compensate for not so much zigzag in the boat. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. Thank y'all for watching. If you got any ideas or tips or tricks or comments, drop them in the comment section below and let me know what you think. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.